look at that. Hey, it's the 25th. 25th of October. Every day this month, I have been posting videos where I talk about a specific horror movie in each video, so that at the end of the month, it's 31 different horror movies that I've been telling you about that you could watch during the horror season. If you've missed some of the videos, there are 24 of them here. Scroll back and watch them. Each day, I've been talking about a different horror movie. What I did was I grabbed a whole bunch of DVDs and Blu-rays from the closet, where I have all my DVDs and Blu-rays, all horror movies, threw them down next to me on the coffee table, under the coffee table, and I'm reaching down, randomly grabbing a title and telling you about them as movies that you should watch as you celebrate Halloween all this month. So, all right, we are on number 25. Number 25. That's what's happening here. It's October 25th. Before I get to it, please donate to my Patreon page. What I'm doing, all this stuff is free, so please, any little bit can help. Can help me keep the videos going, the podcast going, all that stuff. Patreon.com/NickD Show. There are bonuses available, bonus videos, behind the scenes stories about what happened at WGN. All that stuff is there. Donate today. Patreon.com/NickD Show. Patreon.com/NickD Show. And the podcast, new episodes every Tuesday and Friday, full of interviews and great guests and surprises. We also have movie reviews. You know, that's a regular part of the show. Esmeralda Leon is my co-host. We have a lot of fun on that, but we're doing a live version of it that we want you to come out to. Tickets are available now. You can buy them. Please pack the place. It's going to be at the Zanies Comedy Club in Rosemont. Zanies Comedy Club in Rosemont, Illinois on Tuesday, November 15th. Tuesday, November 15th. Go to rosemont.zanies.com. Get your tickets now. There's going to be great surprises, prizes given away, interactive stuff with you in the audience, and you'll be part of the recording. It'll be historic. So anyway, Zanies in Rosemont, Tuesday, November 15th. All right, it is the 25th. So the 25th movie, and again, I'm doing this randomly. I'm reaching down and grabbing from whatever's left of the movies, and I'm not looking. Whatever I grab here is what I'll talk about. Near Dark. Near Dark. Signed by Lance Hendrickson. Lance Hendrickson. Yes, there he is, Lance Hendrickson. The late, great Bill Paxton. Okay, Near Dark. Okay. Directed by the brilliant, the Oscar-winning Catherine Bigelow. And it is, for my money, it's the best vampire movie ever made. They never use the word vampire in it. No fangs or anything like that really in it. But it's the best vampire movie ever made. It is like a combination of a really great vampire movie and The Wild Bunch. It feels like hardcore urban western with vampires in it. So it's like if Sam Peckinpah were to make a vampire movie, it would have been this, Near Dark. A great movie. Adrian Pasdar plays a kid who sees this woman played by Jenny Wright and is very interested in her, wants to hang out with her, wants to get to know her kind of romantically, but he doesn't know that she's part of a family of vampires that are driving around in a Winnebago through the country, through the night. And he gets involved and she turns him. And tries to turn him into a vampire, and then he begins traveling with this group of outlaws. They're basically outlaws. And it's Lance Hendrickson, Bill Paxton, Jenny Wright, Adrian Pasdar, and it's directed by the great Catherine Bigelow. What to say about this movie? It is a wholly original movie. Eric Red co-wrote it with her. He wrote The Hitcher, and then would go on to do other great movies as well. And it's one of the best, singular vision horror movies of all time. And for my money, the most original take on the vampire legend that you'll ever see. When it came out, it didn't do well at the box office. It bombed because it came out about 3 months after the fucking Lost Boys came out. And everybody was like, oh, it's not as good as the Lost Boys. It's a ripoff of the Lost Boys, blah, blah, blah. Because the Lost Boys was a kind of an unusual vampire movie. But the Lost Boys is a piece of shit. Directed by Joel Schumacher. It's an embarrassingly awful movie. So badly MTV 80s. It's dumb. It's a horrible movie. And the fact that anybody would even mention this movie in the same breath as Lost Boys is a goddamn... It's an insult to this movie and the artistic beauty of this fucking movie and to how goddamn stupid the Lost Boys is. So Lost Boys, unfortunately, made a ton of money, and it was, on the tip of the tongue of all teenagers when this thing came out. So when this came out, they were like, oh, I don't want to see that. It doesn't have any cute guys in it. Kiefer Sutherland doesn't have bad 80s hair. It's so, the box office was dominated by The Lost Boys when this movie came out. And The Lost Boys is a piece of shit. We all know that. We look back and we go, what's the difference? Which movie actually holds up? This one. Which movie actually is cinematic and beautiful? This one. Which is a piece of shit? The Lost Boys. But anyway, when it came out, it suffered from that. And also, the company, Dino De Laurentiis' film company, was going out of business at that time. So it didn't get the release it deserved. DEG was the name of the film company, and it was about to go under. So the movie was doomed from the start. But again, like a lot of these movies I've been talking about, over the years, it gained traction, and now it's got a huge following, and people love it. Lance Henriksen is amazing in it. Bill Paxton, please, one of the greatest performances ever. Jeanette Goldstein is in this movie. All three of them would go on to be in, they were in Aliens, James Cameron's movie. And Catherine Bigelow at the time was seeing James Cameron. They were about to get married. And so that's why the cast from Aliens is in this, because Cameron was like, hey, you should be in this movie that I'm sleeping with the director. So you should be in this movie. So they're all in it from Aliens. So there's a crossover connection between Aliens and this. And Catherine Bigelow would go on to direct. I mean, Jesus Christ. She would go on to do Point Break, which is one of the greatest movies ever, Near Dark. She would go on to win an Academy Award for not Zero Dark 30. Well, she was nominated for that. But she would win the Academy Award for The Hurt Locker and go on to be, historically, the first woman to win the Best Director category. Amazing. But she made so many incredible. Blue Steel with Jamie Lee Curtis was another one that she made. It just goes on and on. She's an amazing director, one of the best filmmakers on the planet, one of the greatest female filmmakers that's ever made movies, and this is one of her masterpieces. It's scary, it's creepy, it is beautifully shot, very moody, and extraordinarily and unapologetically romantic. This is, I think, one of the most romantic movies of all time. I personally think this is a Valentine's Day movie, too. I think this is a beautiful film with incredible acting, really deep three-dimensional characters going on here. Like everybody in this movie, you understand the relationship between the vampire family, you understand the relationship between the father, played by Tim Thomerson, and the son, played by Adrian Pasdar, the dynamic that's going on there, everything that's happening. Joshua Miller, who plays the younger son in the vampire family, his struggles and his problems. All of it is beautifully handled. It's an incredibly rich, beautiful screenplay, a lot of deep, significant symbolism and themes going on underneath the surface. And just on the simplest of surface levels, it's scary, it's cool. It's one of the coolest movies. You want to talk about movies that are fucking cool? This movie is fucking cool. Also scary, bloody. There's an intense scene that takes place in a roadhouse bar. That's one of the greatest sequences that Catherine Bigelow has ever directed. Lance Henriksen. And Lance Henriksen is biblically great in this movie. Fucking Lance Henriksen is amazing. Another guy that I've gotten to know over the years because of Flashback Weekend. Thank you, Mike and Mia. And he's amazing. He's unbelievable. If you ever get a chance to see him do it, talk and do a Q&A, I've been lucky enough. I've moderated every one of his Q&As at the Flashback conventions over the years. He's incredible, incredibly nice guy. And he does pottery. Yes, he does. But you gotta love Lance Henriksen. He's one of the greatest character actor badasses of all time, and this is, I think, his best role. So anyway, Near Dark, combination, Western combination, Sam Peckinpah combination vampire movie, one of the most original and awesome horror movies of all time. You can't do much better than Near Dark in October. So anyway, Catherine Bigelow, genius, Near Dark, awesome, watch it.